Well, we got the first cuts in for the Detroit Lions 53-man roster.
Did you realize that you were a champion in their eyes?
Hello, everyone. My name is Derek, and welcome to the Gridiron Blitz. This channel, we do predominantly Detroit Lions content with 3 to 4 live streams a week of NFL football games as well. So if you decide to subscribe, make sure you personalize the notifications, whether you want all content or just some. We have about 24 hours until the final roster cuts have to happen. They have to happen by 4 o'clock tomorrow Eastern Standard Time for the Lions to be cut down to a 53-man roster. They ended Friday night with 79 on the roster, and they have to get down by 53 by tomorrow at 4 o'clock. And then on Wednesday, they can start to fill the practice squad. The Detroit Lions release Breshad Perriman. They waive Victor Bowden, Miles Brown, Mike Ford, Elijah Holder, Evan Heim, Damian Ratley. They waive Dan Skipper and Terrell Crosby. Well, for the first round of cuts, I actually was pretty close to what I had projected the 53-man roster to be. There was one huge surprise and one kind of like, okay, I could see that happening. So we'll start with Terrell Crosby. Terrell Crosby, a lot of people like Terrell Crosby. I have not really cared for Terrell Crosby since probably about 2019. Always getting beat, always getting holding calls, and I really am surprised that he lasted this long. I know a lot of people, they love the fact that he can be a swing tackle, but he's not very good. And actually, Dan Campbell said in his presser that he's just not one of our best guys. So that tells you that even though we might have thought that he deserves the spot on the team, apparently they saw something that we didn't. They get to see him every day, so I'm sure I'll be saying that more coming up. Now, the surprise release for me was cornerback Mike Ford. Mike Ford has been with this team for a couple years now, and he played really, really stellar in the preseason. He's always found a way to make plays. He would get beat sometimes, but he got better. And I can say the same thing for Terrell Crosby as well. He got better over the years. So Mike Ford was my surprise cut this morning. And no surprise to me, Breshad Perriman got cut because we said that. I've been saying that for a little while now, that he was going to be cut. And he only had one chance to really save his situation with the Lions, and he could not make the catches. He couldn't connect. So Perriman, now the Lions guaranteed him $2 million. They're just going to have to eat that and deal with that. But if you're willing to cut a player that you owe money, then that says a lot. Now, he might have showed up in other teams that he's been on, but for the Detroit Lions, and that was one of the things, he's got all this speed, but can he catch the ball? And he showed us that he could not. Now, after the first wave of cuts, they've cut 9 players with the roster already being at 79. So that leaves us 16 players that need to be cut in order to make it to the 53-man roster. And then on Wednesday, they can start to fill the roster up for the practice squad. So now, as we wait in anticipation, probably tomorrow morning, of the next 16 that will be cut, a couple of names I'm hoping not to see. Tom Kennedy, and I think he's good. He didn't play a lot on Friday, and I think a lot of people that were fighting for positions played a ton. I'm hoping not to see Craig Reynolds on that list. The fact that he made it past the initial set of cuts is huge. He basically made it past the initial cut. So there's one more. If he can make that, then he will probably be on this team, and I'll be excited. I want to see what more he can do. Looks like Tim Boyle will need surgery as well. The projected backup number 2 quarterback is going to need surgery on that right thumb. He injured it in Friday's preseason finale. He will need surgery. There's no timetable on how long that's going to take to recover, but Dan Campbell does not believe it will be a season-ending injury. So that's good to know. That by default puts David Blau as the number 2. Now I got a question for Detroit Lions fans. When we had Matthew Stafford, we kept a lot of times 2 quarterbacks on the roster, and thankfully Stafford didn't get hurt a lot. Now, if we don't pick up a third, how do you feel about that? I like 3. I really do. Maybe Tim Boyle will be shelved for half the season. We will see. But I like 3, but I could see us maybe rolling with 2. Maybe that 2 quarterback situation opens up a roster spot for somebody that wasn't really going to make the active roster. Maybe a Craig Reynolds comes in there, and we'll see. I also believe the Detroit Lions are still on the hunt for that 6th receiver. We really don't have a number 1 receiver. We need one. So look for a lot of names to be on the waiver wire for us to potentially look at. But I think wide receiver has to be on top of that list. And I said it in my previous video that safety needs to be there as well. We're expecting more to be cut tomorrow morning after we know what the 53-man roster at 4 o'clock will be like, but we still got people we need to pick up, and no doubt so that will also be trimmed down as well and then brought back up again by those people we'll pick up. My name is Derek. This is the Gridiron Blitz. If you thumb up the video, I would appreciate that. If you want to subscribe, you can do that as well. Again, select personalized, because that way when I stream, if you don't want to see that, you don't get that. Hopefully, if you just want Detroit Lions content, you'll get that as well. YouTube is doing their job correctly. You will only be notified of the content that you are interested in, and that makes me happy if it makes you happy. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.